Hare Krishna everyone. Today we will be discussing Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. So we'll be going sloka by sloka. So today we are starting with the 16th sloka of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjanashlakaya Chakshurunmeditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapatakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadodam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitan Shri Vishakan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामिनत नाम्ने नमः आचार्यपादाय नताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथाधामदाय नकरग्रामतारिणे नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनत नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today we'll be starting with the 16th sloka from the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we have already seen the first chapter, how Arjuna is in anxiety and he is and the name of the chapter itself is Arjuna Vishata Yoga, or that is in different way, different languages. It is mentioned in different way, but basically here it is the anxiety that Arjuna is facing at the battlefield of Kurukshetra before the battle begins. So he is observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and Arjuna is speaking here. So we are starting with the 16th sloka here. 16, 17 and 18, three slokas together. अनन्तविजयं राजा कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलः सह देवश्च सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ काश्यश्च परमेश्वास शिखण्डी च महारथः दृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकिश्चापराजितः द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वश पृथिवीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहो शङ्खान् दद्मौ पृथक् पृथक्. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadeva blew the Sugosha and Manipushpaka. The great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhanti, Drishtadyumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and the others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. So earlier in the previous sloka, we saw the transcendental quality of Krishna and Arjuna's conch shell. So we also saw that how the blowing of the conch shell of the Pandavas is a sign of victory for the Pandavas, and it also indicates that to the Kauravas that it is the Pandavas who are going to win the battle. So we will see that in detail in the next coming sloka. What is the effect of the blowing of conch shells of the Pandavas? Earlier we saw how Bhishma Dev blew his conch shell to give happiness to Duryodhana, but then Bhishma Dev actually knew that the Kauravas are not going to win this battle, because we saw different signs by which it indicated that Pandavas are going to win the battle. So here, let's read the purport. Sanjaya informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicate that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in the great battle, beginning with the grandsire Bhishma, down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings from many states of the world. All were present there, and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. So here we see how important it is as a king, as a father, as a guide, how important it is to guide their followers, whether it be their son, whether it be their uh, the the people in their country or state, how important it is to guide them in a proper or in the right manner. If not, it will lead to total catastrophe, not just of the king, but the whole nation or the whole society. So here, Sanjaya is saying this tactfully to King Dhritarashtra. So it is one's selfish desires, or it is one's hidden agenda that brings about a total destruction. So here we see that if Dhritarashtra was a very pious king, or if he was walking the path of dharma, his main intention would be how to protect his kingdom. So when it comes to being to protect the kingdom, the king has to be a dharmic person. So Dhritarashtra very well knew that his sons are not dharmic. His sons are on the adharmic path, and he also very well knew that the sons of Pandavas are in the path of dharma. So, as a king, he should choose the right heir for the kingdom who will guide the entire society in the path of dharma. And Dhritarashtra very well knew that it is Yudhishthira Maharaj who is capable of doing that. But then here the love, or no, it's not just love, it is the attachment of Dhritarashtra towards his sons, the Kauravas, which blinded him to see the right thing. So here, that is what happens when we are over attached on the material platform. So if we are materially very attached to something, whether a person or thing or anything, it blinds us from the reality. It blinds us from what we have actually we are to see. So the wrong decision, the wrong guidance by a guru, the wrong guidance by a parent, a father or a mother, or the wrong guidance by a teacher, it will lead to the destruction of his disciples or the people who are under him, or maybe even to himself. So this is very important, that when we have a higher position, a higher level in the society, it also comes with great responsibility. And it is not something what to say, that position is not something for us to enjoy, but it is for us to do some service to the humanity. So this is what happens. Many times people get the position, but are they qualified to sit in that position? Are their consciousness evolved or matured enough to guide those who are under them? This is a this is a question which we have to ask whenever we give a position to someone. Are they qualified? Just because he is able to control few men doesn't mean that he will be able to guide those men. There is a great difference between guidance and controlling. A leader never controls, he guides. He himself will be an example. He guides his followers, so that they can also become leaders in future. So that is exactly what the king also have to do. He as a king should be an example to his sons, who are to become the next king. So here we see that Dhritarashtra is not at all a very good example as a king, and he has not given any proper guidance to his sons, the Kauravas. So the signs already clearly indicate that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in the great battle. So, because of this one mistake by Dhritarashtra, it led to the destruction of the entire Kuru dynasty. All 100 sons of Dhritarashtra are vanquished in this battle. Okay, including many other great men, I mean including many other kings in this, who were part of this battle, including Bhishma Dev, the great grandsire, to the grandsons like even Abhimanyu. All of them will be killed in this battle, and this is just because of one mistake, one wrong guidance, or which is given by a person in position. So people don't understand the importance of their position. Many a times the parents, they give wrong guidance. And why do we give wrong guidance? It is because of our attachment. It is because of our attachment that we give wrong guidance to those who are under us. It is because of our conditioning. So this is very important. So when a person comes to a position as a leader, whether it be a king, a teacher, a guru, a father, or a mother, the most important thing is they have to purify themselves so that they are not conditioned by many things. So when they are out of their own conditioning, they'll be able to give proper guidance. That is why we see in the Vedic times, before a person becomes the king, he will be sent to Gurukul. He will be asked to undergo intense austerities so that he can purify himself. He can come out of his conditioning, so that when he gives conditioning, his conditioning doesn't come into that guidance. This is very important. So here Dhritarashtra wanted the kingdom because he felt that he was deprived of his kingdom because he was blind. So he utterly wanted the kingdom. If I don't get it, then my sons should get it. But then he failed to see that whether his sons are qualified to get that kingdom. Yeah, so see how our conditioning blinds us. So it is very important, before a person comes to a position as a leader, he has to be purified of his conditionings. This is very, very important. Many times we see that the parents, they haven't they might not have been able to study much, so they say that I want to teach my children as much as possible. But then in that blinded state, what happens, they try to force their children to learn something which they couldn't learn, which a parent couldn't learn. Suppose the parent or the father wanted to become a doctor, he was not able to become a doctor because of many issues in the family or whatever it is. So he wanted his son to become the doctor, he want to see his son as a doctor. So here what happens, he is enforcing his conditioning on his son. But he fails to understand, is that what my son wants? Does my son want to become a doctor, or does he have any other desire other than that? Or what is his nature? What does he actually want? We never question that, isn't it? So this is very important. So we should not enforce our conditioning on those who are under us. So that is why a person in the leadership position has to be purified first. So based on the level of their, it's not that I completely become purified and then become a leader. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen like that. Sometimes we learn as we go, right? So it's like, if I am purified 20%, then I take the leadership, or I try to train those people only to that level to which I have evolved. So from there, I can, from 20 to 30 or 40%, when I purify myself of my conditioning, then I can guide little more people. So at every step, we have to keep growing. And maybe I might not have reached 100%. I might be, say, 25, 30%. So I cannot guide others who are above my level, but I can guide others, those who are below my level, for them to come up to this level. Right. So it also doesn't mean that we get stagnated at that, okay, 25%. I will just keep helping only those who are below me. No, we also try to go up. Right. So it's a path of transition. So we have to, it is not the black or white, but it's like shades of gray. So as we progress, we also keep helping others to progress. And we also make sure that we also progress. We are also not stagnated anywhere. So this is very important, because as we progress, we learn more. Okay. That is what. So the wrong guidance of a person in position leads to catastrophe. So 19th, the blowing sagosha dharta rashranam hridayani vyadharayat nabascha prithivim chaiva tumulobhyanunadayan. The blowing of these different conches became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So this is the statement which is given here. So so it says that how such a situation did not happen when the Kauravas blew their conch. There was no shattering of heart of the Pandavas. Such thing did not happen. It's just that it was, yes, loud sound by Bhishma Dev, and everyone is, they play their bugles, trumpets, everything. So it was loud and it was like thunder, but then it never shattered the hearts of Pandavas. But here, the blowing of the conch shell of Pandavas, the entire Pandava army, beginning with Krishna and Arjuna and all the Pandavas, what happens? It vibrated both on the sky and on the earth, and it shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So they were actually fearful here. So when Bhishma and the others on the side of Duryodhana blew their respective conch shell, there was no heartbreaking on the side of the Pandavas. Such occurrence was not mentioned. But in this particular verse, it is mentioned that the heart of the sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the sounds vibrated by the Pandavas' party. This is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. One who takes shelter of the Supreme Lord has nothing to fear, even in the midst of the greatest calamity. So we see the same example in Ramayana also, how Hanumanji was so confident in the names of Lord Ramachandra, and he was completely surrendered to Lord Ramachandra, that imagine a monkey being able to leap across the ocean single handedly and burning the entire Lanka. And Ravana is not an ordinary person. He is not an ordinary demon. So he has controlled the entire three world. Imagine we are under the control of just one country, under one king, or maybe even under one state or something. We are under the control of the chief minister or the prime minister of anyone. So the moment we deviate from that, from their law, what happens? Immediately we are put in the jail. We are curbed by the laws of the country, isn't it? So the laws of the country or the state are very, very strict. Even if you go to any other country outside India, you see the rules will be very strict. So they won't allow. If you go to different foreign countries, western countries, you see that there are cameras everywhere. Each and every movement of yours is noted. So imagine that your privacy also goes there. So such a situation, such kind of deep what to say, controlling of your actions, everything, or watching your actions is not much there in India. But such things are there in the foreign, some of the western countries. So imagine if you are controlled at each and every step, how frustrating it would be. So but that would be like the extreme levels. But this extreme level was there when Ravana was controlling. Ravana was controlling all the three world, not just not just one land called Lanka. Lanka was like his headquarters or something, but then he was controlling all the planetary systems, including the Devatas. So Ramayana says that the Devatas were working in different departments in his palace. Like Indra was in the cooking, Ravana, and then Vayu was doing something else. Each and every Devata were doing different work at his palace. This was their condition. The Devatas were working for Ravana. So here we see that, but then if that was a situation of the Devatas, what can a monkey do? How did the monkey get so much courage to do all this? It is simply because he was dependent, completely dependent on Lord Ramachandra. So when we completely depend on Krishna, we have nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear literally in this world. But that doesn't mean that we should become so audacious and we become so proud about it or anything, because the moment we are proud, we are not we are not surrendered to Krishna. So just because, so it is very important, see that when we surrender to Krishna, we get immense strength. Krishna gives us immense strength, right, to do different tasks, sevas for him, to serve him in different ways. So here Arjuna is serving by establishing dharma. So see the power which Krishna is giving Arjuna, just because he surrendered to Krishna. So here we see that this is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. This is very, very important. To have dependence and faith in Lord Krishna, that he is the controller. He knows what he is doing. Krishna knows what he is doing. So we simply depend on Krishna and his decisions, for which we should know, have the intelligence to understand which is Krishna's decision and which is our mind's decision. This is where our intelligence lies, and this intelligence have to be given by Krishna. So the more and more we chant the holy names of Krishna, what happens? We become purified. So this will sharpen our intelligence. Yeah. So the more and more our intelligence becomes sharper, we'll be able to clearly distinguish between what is Krishna's desire and what is our mind's desire. Never ever follow the desire of the mind, because it is completely materially polluted at this point of time. So we have to depend on the desire of Krishna. But then we are always confused. Is this what Krishna wants, or is this what my mind says? So this is because our intelligence is not sharp enough. So we have to sharpen our intelligence. How do we sharpen our intelligence? The intelligence becomes sharper by controlling our senses, chanting the holy names, and reading the Shastras. These are very, very important. So we have to sincerely chant the holy names, which will cleanse our heart. And then at the same time, we have to sharpen as we sharpen the sword, we have to sharpen our intelligence by reading the Shastras. So by this, as we do this, what happens? We get the mercy of the Lord. Yeah. So by doing all this, Krishna gives us the mercy. Okay, fine. You are putting in effort, so I will give you that intelligence. So again, finally, intelligence has to come from Krishna, but then he will see our effort. How much effort are we putting? So it's not that I can do anything around the world and still I will have the intelligence to make the right decisions. No, only a person who has control over his senses, over his mind, can actually develop his intelligence. So Krishna, it comes in the Bhagavad Gita. Later on, it comes how by controlling the senses and controlling the mind, one's intelligence becomes sharper. And with that intelligence, and from which we get basically from reading the Shastras and taking the guidance of an authorized guru and sharpening our intelligence, then we'll be able to distinguish. So without control of senses, no one is intelligent. He is simply under the control of his senses. So that is why it is very important to take shelter of Krishna. And here in this Kali Yuga, it is by chanting the holy names. So if a person says, I have control on my senses, but he doesn't chant the holy names, which means he has not taken shelter of the Lord. So whatever intelligence he has is only material intelligence. It is not the spiritual intelligence. So here, the 20th sloka. Ata vyavasthitan drishtva dhartarashtraन् kapidvachah pravritte shastra sampate dhanarudyamya pandavah rishikesham tada vakyam idam aha mahipate. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in the military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna. This was now begins Arjuna's doubts. The battle was just about to begin. It is understood. So they all blew the conch shell, right? So they were all ready. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of the military force by the Pandavas. So we already saw that how they were in exile, 12 years of exile, 1 year of Ajnatwas, and soon after that, within few months, they are say declaring war against the Kauravas. So they were really, and when they came to the battlefield, they were really shocked. How come they arrange? How could they arrange such a huge army when they were in exile for 12 years or 13 years? So Duryodhana was actually shocked when he saw this arrangement of the military of the, the military arrangement of the Pandavas. But then Krishna is there on their side. So when Krishna desires, anything can happen. So Duryodhana has nothing in front of that. So he was yes, more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of the military force of the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instruction of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. This is very important. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory. So earlier we saw different signs of victory for the Pandavas, how Krishna being on their side, and along with Krishna, definitely Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, she is also there. So there would definitely be victory. So here are some of the others, and the chariot given to to Arjuna was given by Agni Deva, and this chariot has the capacity to conquer all the directions. So we saw these are the different signs, and here are some more signs which indicate the victory of the Pandavas. So the emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory, because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna. Yes, Krishna is Lord Ramachandra himself, and Hanuman is also present on the flag. Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and wherever Lord Rama is, his eternal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort, that is Lord Ramachandra's eternal consort, Mother Sita, who is goddess of fortune. She is Lakshmi Devi herself, Mother Sita. She is also present. Now you see, there is Lord Ramachandra present, his wife Sita Devi, the goddess of fortune. She is Lakshmi herself. She is also present, and the Lord Ramachandra servitor Hanuman is also present in the chariot on the flag. Now, what else do you want? Therefore, Arjuna has no cause to fear any enemies, whomsoever. Now, The thing what happens in our life also, we'll have everything around us. We have the Bhagavad Gita to guide us, we have the devotees around to guide us, our different gurus, teachers to help us. When even then all these things, they have holy name is there, we can chant anytime. Even when all these things is there, we are still doubtful. Will there be victory? So there's this doubt, the doubt of whether there will be victory, or whether is all these things useful, or is there any use in this. All these doubts comes from the mind, because a person who's spiritually very strong, he doesn't have any doubt. His mind is so clear that he knows what decision has to be taken. He'll just take that decision. Sometimes we'll many a times not many times, most of the time we have these doubts. Am I doing right? Am I doing wrong? All these doubts come from the mind. Yeah, so it is very important to understand. So whenever the doubt arises, it is coming from the mind. So that is the time we have to take shelter of Krishna. We'll see how Arjuna is taking shelter of Krishna with so many doubts in his mind. He will take shelter of Krishna. So this is very important. That sloka is very, very important. Whenever we are in doubt, simply chant that sloka and take shelter of Krishna. This will help us a lot. Okay. So that comes in the second chapter. So we'll see that in detail there. So yeah. So therefore, Arjuna has no cause to fear any enemies whosoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna, was personally present to guide him, to give him directions. Thus, all counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle. This is how we are also. We have everything, but then we still have so many doubts. In such auspicious conditions arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee lay the signs of assured victory. Now, so we'll see 21 and 22 also. अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत यावत् एतान् निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामा अवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे. Arjuna said, "O infallible one, please row my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms." So Arjuna is asking Krishna to draw the chariot in between both the armies so that he can see who all are there to fight. Because you have to make an estimation of who all are there before we actually begin the war. So although Krishna, Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. So we saw how he got the name Parthasarathi last time. So how beautifully Krishna is taking the position of a charioteer for Arjuna. So, yeah, he never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus he is addressed here as infallible. So that's from where the name Achyuta comes. Achyuta means one who's infallible, who never fails in his affection for his devotees. So these are some of the names which we have to remember. So earlier we saw many names of Lord Krishna and also Arjuna. So each and every name of Krishna shows one characteristic or one quality of Krishna, which is all these qualities of Krishna are transcendental. So he never fails for in his affection for his devotees. So we also see in Gajendra Moksha how Lord Krishna, he immediately comes the moment Gajendra calls, and Gajendra is just an animal, an elephant calling, and Krishna is coming for an elephant. So definitely he would come for a human being, but then we'll also have to cry and call as Gajendra did. As charioteer, he has to carry out the orders of Arjuna. And since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. Now you see here, Krishna never fails on his devotees. So if his devotee want him to be a chariot driver, he is ready to do it. Imagine, as we saw the earlier example, as a CEO of a company, he is arranging the chappals of the people who are coming in the office, or maybe you will have to remove the chappal and come and imagine such a situation. And the CEO of the company is arranging the chappals or touching the chappals, or maybe he is serving food for the people in his office. And people means it's not just those who are in the elite position, but even for the office boys, all those who are working. Do you think a CEO will come and do all those things? He will not do. Or maybe drive them to home. Maybe driving is better, but then doing all this, cleaning the chappals or arranging the chappals or serving the people food, all those things the CEO will not do. Imagine CEO, okay, not just an ordinary worker or employee in the office. Okay, so the person will have that much of pride in him, right? How can I do all these things? Or he will ask some driver, "We go and drop," or he will arrange some other person to do all this work. He will not do it. But Krishna did this. Imagine he is not just a CEO of a small company with some $1 million revenue or something. He is the controller, he is the owner of everything, the entire cosmic creation. Beginning from, it's not just one small state or district or a country or a planet. He, everything, the millions of galaxies and the planets and every gold or ratna, the diamonds or whatever wealth, everything belongs to Krishna. He is the owner of all these things. And even being the controller of the entire cosmic creation, he is ready to become the chariot driver of just one devotee of his. Imagine, this is Krishna's love for his devotees. So that is why he never fails in his affection for his devotees. So he cannot be compared to any Krishna cannot be compared to anyone. He is beyond everything. So here we see he has to carry out the orders, and we also saw how in a battlefield it is not that you cannot speak to the chariot driver, okay, go right, go left, as we do it in a car, because there will be a lot of noise, they can't hear. So what do? They kick. If you want the chariot driver to go take the chariot towards the right side, they will kick the person on the chariot, the fighter on the chariot, he will kick on the right shoulder of the chariot driver. If he wants to go left, he will kick on the left shoulder of the chariot driver. Imagine Krishna is taking kicks from Arjuna to drive the chariot. So this is Krishna's love for his devotees. He will not hesitate. He did not hesitate to do so, and hence he is addressed as infallible Achyuta. Although he has accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. Just because he became a charioteer doesn't mean that he is not the Lord. He is still the Lord. Because even as a charioteer, it was Krishna who was controlling all the actions of Arjuna. He will direct Arjuna what to do. Krishna never gave up his position as the supreme Lord. Even as a charioteer, he was the controller. In all circumstances, he is the supreme personality of Godhead, Hrishikesha, the Lord of the total senses. The relationship between the Lord and the servitor is very sweet and transcendental. Now, that doesn't mean, see, when Krishna controls us, it doesn't mean, oh, he's like he's like a big person, master, he's trying to control, and we are like slaves of his. No, that might be there in a material relationship. A master might try to control a slave, or someone is under him, and he might even use that person who's under him in all kinds of different ways. So that is like what to say, I don't know what term to use in English, but then um, like you are making use of that person, yes. So but that is not how Krishna is. Krishna is our father. He loves every one of us. When we say that I am under the control of Krishna, which means I am actually happy. It is not, the devotee is never sad because he is under the control of Krishna. He gets eternal happiness because Krishna, who wants everything good for us, is controlling us. Now what else do we want? He never lets us fail in anything, or he never gives us any what to say, any sadness. Whatever Krishna does, it will ultimately give us happiness. Okay, maybe because of our impurity or because of our conditioning, we might feel pain when Krishna is doing something. But then it is like the doctor doing a surgery. The doctor is doing a surgery, the patient might feel some pain, but then the surgery is ultimately good for the patient, isn't it? So when Krishna does something, maybe sometimes we'll feel some pain. Oh my God, why is Krishna doing such a thing? It is hurting me a lot. He is giving so much of troubles. But then that troubles are to make us strong. Krishna wants us to be strong. He doesn't want his devotees to become, what to say, just something, and what to say, I mean, a weak-hearted person. Krishna wants his devotees to be strong-hearted but soft-hearted. This is the quality of a Vaishnava, a devotee of Krishna. They are strong-hearted, very, very strong, but they are soft-hearted. Their heart is as soft as butter and as strong as thunderbolt. Yeah. So that is what. So the relationship between the Lord and the servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is also ready to render service to his devotees, seeking an opportunity to render some service to his devotee. So it is not like the master slave relationship of this material world. It is a master servant relationship where the master is also trying to serve the servant, because the servant is giving so much of love to the master and serving. The master's heart is captured by that love, and he is also trying to serve. So Krishna is also trying to serve his devotees, and devotees are also trying to serve Krishna. So it is a what to say, it is a fight of love, who is serving whom more. So it's completely full of love. It's like a mother trying to serve the child out of so much of love, and seeing that love, the child is also trying to serve the mother. Now, whom can you say who is the master here and who is the servant here? You cannot say. So when there is love, there is no master servant. It is like it is complete love there. Yeah, though there is a position, yes, he is the master and we are the servants, or like this is the mother and the child. Though that position is there, child and mother, but then when it comes to law, maybe we won't even understand, is this really the mother? Then why is the mother giving so much service to the child? And the child should actually serve the mother, but the mother is serving the child. How is this possible? So this is exactly the relationship between Krishna and his devotees. So it is completely out of love. When there is no love, there comes master slave. So it is trying to make use of the person that under him. So this is what we see mostly in the material world, and we cannot compare this to Krishna. Yeah, he takes great pleasure in his pure devotees, assuming the advantageous position of ordering him that he does, uh, ordering him than he does being the giver of orders. So when Krishna has experienced so much of love from his devotees, he will enjoy in when his devotees are ordering him. The devotee, Arjuna says, please do my chariot, please drive my chariot. Krishna is happy. Oh, my devotee is giving me orders. All this while I am giving orders to everyone as the Lord. Now my devotee is giving me orders, so I am ready to do it. See, this is Krishna's eagerness to serve his devotees. So it has got nothing to do anything. It is not material relationship as a master slave or something. It is purely transcendental. It's purely under love. Since he is master, everyone is under his orders, but no one is above him to order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure. Krishna is getting so much of pleasure when someone is ordering him, not someone, only when a pure devotee is orders him. So if they are not devotees, Krishna doesn't take orders from such a person. He will show his position as the Lord. Okay. So only when there is love, Krishna allows himself to be binded. When there is no love, he is the Lord. He is a controller. Always he is the controller. Yes. Although he is the infallible master in all circumstances, but still Krishna enjoys being controlled by his devotees, because devotees have pure love for the Lord. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousin and brothers. Now, um, it is a position of Arjuna which is depicted here. Now, Arjuna is having so much love for Krishna, so when he sees his brothers and everyone around, he sees them as the soul. They all belong to the Lord, and he doesn't want to fight with them and kill them, all those things. So Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come into the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana. It is Duryodhana who wanted this battle. That is why he made all kinds of arrangements so that the Pandavas will come and fight the war. Or else he could have just given 5 villages when Krishna went to have a settlement before the war. The peace messenger goes to somehow or the other stop the war. But then Duryodhana was not ready to even give 5 villages and stop the war. He said, I will not given even a pin to prick it on the land. I will not given a land big enough to even just prick a pin on it. That was Duryodhana's arrogance and level. So then it is Duryodhana who wanted this war. So there was no other option but to fight. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who the leading persons on the battlefield were. Although there was no question of a peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, yes, when you go to the battlefield, it is all settled. You have tried all your best to not have the battle, but then still, if the battle is distant, then there is no peacemaking or anything in the battlefield. He wanted to see them again and see how much they are bent upon demanding an unwanted war. So, with this, we'll stop. We'll see the next few slokas in the coming days. So, I hope this was helpful for everyone. So, thank you so much. Anjakalpatarubhishya kripasindubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Anandakoti Vaishnavradha ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai Hare Krishna.